Okay, so let's start adding some other elements to get this thing a little more life. It's looking pretty good. We got just our soft element right in front. We've got our blue solution summit, which might make it a little bit brighter or bring our big S back down. But what I want to do now is create just another element and use some other tools in here that can help you organize a scene like this. Okay, so just going to come here basically to our perspective view. What I'm going to do is come over here. I'm going to open up this object manager. And I've got enough things in here now that are going to start getting in the way when we start building other objects. So I'm just going to organize in here a little bit. And the way we're going to do that is come up here and view, and we're going to choose folding, unfold all. Okay, and then we can see everything in there. I'll pull down so you can see it. And then I'm going to just click and drag up to select all of those. Then I'm going to right click on one, add to new layer. And I've got a new layer added to all of these. And we'll go view, folding, fold all. Okay, so those are all in a layer. Then we'll go to window, layer browser, and I'm going to take that layer browser window and just drop it right in here. Okay, then we're going to turn the visibility off. And now we have a clean scene. Okay, everything's still there, but it's just those are main elements that we can just turn off in the meantime while we build something else. And if you want, maybe we'll put the camera in there as well. Add to layer. I know that's a little off screen, but add to layer and just choose the same layer. The light I think is okay. That's not getting in the way. So now we've got a nice clean scene to work with. And for this layer, we'll call this solution elements. Okay, just a good way to stay organized. File, save incremental. And now let's create our next element. So I'm going to come here to our primitives, choose plane. And what we're going to do with this plane object is use a couple of more tools. We're going to come down here and change it to the Z positive down there at the bottom. And I'm just going to widen it out. Let's get in here so you can see it a little bit better. That. We'll pull that out about that wide. And then I'm going to change my segments here for this plane. And we're going to make the width segments maybe about 50 and the height about 8, just so they're a little more square. Okay. From here, we're going to add a text element, but we're not going to do it the same way we did before. If you remember, before we added a text curve. Instead, we're going to go to MoGraph, and we're going to use the text object. Now, we're going to cover MoGraph in our next project because there's a lot of cool things you can do in here as well. Okay, so I'm just going to add this text object, and as you can see in here, it's a decent size. I'm going to size it up to kind of fit this view here, and we're going to build this right into this shape. Press the O key, brings that to view. Okay, and I'm going to position this right in between that flat board, like that. Okay, so it's resting in there. From here, select that text object. Let's go into our text editor here, and let's choose, you can create whatever you want. I'm going to say dialogue 2010 convention. Hit the tab key, accepts our setup there. Now I'm going to choose this default font. I think that's fine. I believe it's like an Arial I got going here. You can use the same kind of font from earlier, which is the Century Gothic, but I think this will work fine for this. And we're going to pull this over and center it out, just like that. Okay, so there's our text object, there's our plane. What can we do with that? Well, I want to cut holes based on that look. Okay, I want holes of the text. I don't actually want to see the text in 3D. We're not making a banner, we're actually making an element for the background. So the way to do that is with this guy here, and we're going to choose a bool, which is a Boolean operation. And we're going to take the text and the plane and drop that in there. But what happens when I do that is that it looks like the background is gone and not the dialogue. So what I want to do is just simply reverse these. I want the text to be removed from the plane. So I just reverse those. So the text objects are cutting a hole in the plane thanks to the Boolean. Okay? And so if you see this, do a little render here. Don't forget, our objects are still there. They're just hidden from view. We've created some really nice holes in there. So now when we apply a surface to that, we've got just another really cool element we can set up. So from here, I'll go and put the visibility back on for our other layers. Let's take a look at what our camera sees. And for the Boolean, I'm going to call this dialogue. That'll be our text in the background. Okay, I'm going to zoom out here. So I'll make sure the dialogue is selected. Select the Move tool. And then we're just going to move this up. Now it's going to run a little slow depending on your system. But we're just going to put right up here above the S. We're going to pull it back. Don't want to go into the cylinder. But we're just going to make this banner that's going to move across the top. Okay, and let's just do a quick render here. You can see what's happening. Okay, so there's our solution banner, our solution text, and our dialog banner. Now we're going to apply some surface to that, and that's going to just move left to right across the scene. So from here, we'll put the surfaces on, we'll create a bit of a background, add some more light elements, and then get everything in motion, and we'll do our final render.